What if I told you guys that your deepest fear might actually be true? What if I told you that the thing that you feared about yourself, the thing that you've spent your entire life trying to fight against, what if I told you that there's actually some truth to it? Now, a lot of you are probably going to want to just shut this off and say, that's not true, and how dare you say that, and how dare you make me feel bad about myself. But what if accepting that thing is actually the greatest thing that you could ever do, and it's actually the thing that would help you to overcome it? For those of you who don't know me, and probably don't want to at this point, my name is Bianca, and I'm a licensed mental health counselor who specializes in cognitive behavioral therapy. I'm also the co-founder and co-host of the Evolve Ventures business and podcast, and I'm also somebody who for the majority of my life has struggled with the belief that I'm not good enough, that I'm not lovable, that I'm this hideous monster that nobody's ever going to want to be around and that nobody could ever love. So when I say this, I'm not saying this from a stance of judgment and shame. I'm saying this from a stance of I'm somebody who actually learned how to overcome those deepest fears, and I'm someone who's able to help and does help so many other people to overcome these things. So what I want to talk about today and what I'm going to dive into today is how to actually use your deepest fear as a superpower. Because that's what I did. So like I said, I grew up as somebody who really had no sense of self-worth, no sense of confidence, no belief in myself. I sincerely thought everybody hated me and the world was out to get me. I really struggled in relationships. I struggled connecting to people. And what that ended up leading to was my deepest fear, which was that I had no friends. I was consistently single, getting in and out of these really terrible relationships, even though I was fighting and doing everything that I could to make them work, but they wouldn't. I really wasn't that smart. I wasn't anything special. And the challenge was not that those things were true, but I was fighting them so hard. I was spending my entire life trying to prove that those things weren't true. The day my life changed, and it wasn't like this picture movie moment where it's like I have this realization and everything is different after that. I wish the world worked that way, but unfortunately it doesn't. So we got to be grounded in reality. But the day that my life really changed was the day that I had a conversation with my coach. And he sat me down, and I study CBT, right? So I know everything about beliefs. I know how it impacts our brain. I know how it impacts our mind. I know the way that beliefs really shape our entire experience of life. But obviously you can't be your own therapist, and you can't always see things about you that other people that are close to you can see. So my coach sat me down and he said, B, what if you're not good enough? And I wanted to punch him in the face. I wanted to climb through the screen and be like, who do you think you're talking to? Like, why do you think that that's okay to say to me? But he's like, hold on. What would happen if that were actually true? What would happen if you actually admitted to yourself that you're really not that smart? You're really not that creative. You're really not that intelligent. You do kind of suck at relationships. You're not good at these things that you want to be good at. And I sat for a minute and I really thought about it, and I said, my life would be over. It would mean that I spent my whole life trying to pretend, only to realize that the thing I was running away from is actually true. And he said, what if you try to use that as something of empowerment? And it clicked. I was like, oh, what if it's a good thing? He said, yeah. He's like, B, you do this with your clients every single day. You help them to accept. You accept the things that are true, and you learn how to navigate them, and you learn how to build the skills. You teach them to learn the skills to develop these things. And it just made so much sense. It was like, oh, so if I stop fighting this, I can actually accept it and then build these skills rather than pretending that I'm actually good at them. And that point, like I said, it wasn't this like movie moment where like you cut to the next scene and everything is perfect. But what that did, it allowed me to stop fighting. It allowed me to stop trying to make it seem as though I was these things. And rather what it did was it allowed me to accept, or it allowed me to start getting into the process of accepting. What if I am not good? What if I am not enough just at these things that I'm trying to do? Not that I'm not enough as a person, but that these things that I base my value on, I'm not great at them yet. That acceptance allowed me to stop trying to pretend to be good at these things and to actually go and build the skill to understand, where am I screwing up here? So let's talk about friendships, for example. I was extremely socially anxious. I was extremely insecure. And what would happen was I would freak out and psych myself out before going into an event, convincing myself nobody's gonna like me, nobody wants me here, I'm such a loser. Real great self-talk, honestly, world class. Just saying the most horrendous things to myself. And so I would get into these situations and my defense mechanism was puff up. RBF, resting not nice face. I'm not going to say the word. Resting not nice face. I would put on this demeanor that basically said, nobody come near me. And so I looked unapproachable. I looked mean. I looked angry. It led to nobody wanting to come around me. And then I would go home saying, nobody wanted to talk to me. See, it was true. It was true that nobody likes me. It was true that I'm unlovable and that I'm never going to have these positive experiences. Not realizing that my fear was actually the thing that made people not come up to me. Me believing that I'm unlovable and that I'm not good enough made me act a certain way that then pushed people away, and it just validated my initial belief. So when I was able to accept, okay, I'm really not good at interacting with people. I can talk so well on a deep one-on-one setting if the person is already open, but going into new situations, like, I'm not good at talking to people. I do push people away. I am really standoffish. I don't have a good energy that makes people want to come and talk to me because I'm scared. I'm terrified. It freed me up to being able to accept those things as reality, as current reality. Understand why they happened and what led to that, and then to go and develop the skills to be able to get better. Now, am I the world's most like sociable, talkative, extroverted person? No, but I'm en route. And I think that's what's so exciting about this, when you learn to just say, you know what, I'm not good enough. Not as a person, not that I'm not deserving of being here, but at these things that I want, I'm not good at them yet. I'm not super great. I'm not a phenomenal speaker. I'm not an amazing partner yet. I'm not all of these things that I want to be. It frees you up to being able to just look at it without the insane emotional attachment we have to it, and then to go build the skill. Because that's the truth about life. Anything and everything that you want, it's a skill. And somebody's done it. So if you can learn who are the people that have the thing that I want or that embody what I want, I can go talk to them. I can go learn from them. I can study what they did and get to the point within myself that I'm able to do that. Accepting that I wasn't good enough, like I actually wasn't. I wasn't a good speaker initially. I wasn't good at, I wasn't that intelligent. I wasn't as good as, my mission partner in all of the things that we were doing. She was and is so much better than me. And learning to accept that rather than fight it gave me the permission to get vulnerable and to go up to her and say, I'm really not good at these things. And I want to get better. How can I get better at this? What can I do? What are the things that you can suggest to me to actually help me? So if this is you, if you've been fighting against a limiting belief for a really long time, if you've been fighting a narrative for a really long time, what I want all of you to do is to give yourself the permission, to give yourself compassion, and to ask the question, is there any truth to it? Is there any truth? And if the answer is yes, because honestly, there probably is some truth to it, how can I accept it? How can I not shame myself for it? And then how can I go learn from this? How can I go build this skill, build this habit, get better? Who can I go talk to help me? That is how you turn your deepest fear into your greatest strength. By learning to accept it. By not spending your life fighting it and trying to prove that it's not true. And giving yourself the permission to say and ask what parts of this are true, and then modifying it, gaining new experiences, putting yourself out there, gaining the skill and the ability and the knowledge and the relationships to work through it and to overcome it, so that there does come a day when you can say, I was kind of broken. I was not really that smart. I was not enough and all of these things that I wanted, but I overcame it. But I learned how to get there. Think about every movie that we love. It's somebody who goes through that exact journey. They wanted to be something different. They wanted to be something more. They didn't have that yet. And then they found someone who helped them eventually get there. We love those movies because that is the reality and that's what we all want, but we're terrified of accepting it. If this is you, you're in good company. You're not alone. I'm not enough either. I'm not the most loved human being on earth. But I'm also somebody who will try my damn hardest to get better. I'm someone who loves so deeply. And I'll consistently work to make sure that the people around me feel that. And that I'm getting that in return through my action, through my effort, through accepting where I'm not that great and then learning how to get better as a result of it. So if this is you, number one, you're in good company. And number two, if you need help doing this, please do not hesitate to reach out. Number one, subscribe to this YouTube because I put out videos every single week talking about these things, and there'll be way more videos and more in depth of how to actually do this. and then send me a DM. Evolve with Bianca. I'm on Instagram, I'm on TikTok. You can do it through the evolveventurestech.com website. You can reach me there. I would love to be able to help you. I did this journey for myself. I've helped thousands of people do it too. And you're not an exception to that. So please reach out. I sincerely look forward to hearing from you, and I'll see you guys next time.